Family, let's talk about the game that's being played right in front of us. Right now, the white power structure is trying to wash Charlie Kirk's hands in blood, using tragedy and sympathy to sanitize a man who has built his platform on white supremacist views. Don't get it twisted, this is not redemption. This is rebranding. The media will try to convince you that he deserves compassion. But behind the curtain, the same anti-black, anti-FBA rhetoric is alive and well. Today, we're going to break down exactly how this psychological warfare works, why they keep recycling these characters, and most importantly, how we fight back by controlling our own narratives. Let's get into it. You are now tuned into Sincere Love the Godcast.
And those Africans have to be organized to fight for their liberation. And those Africans have to be organized to fight for their liberation.
Tickets online, never in the streets. Easiest way to make money. I go to the ticket shop.
Yo family, real quick, I'm proud to announce the soft launch of Sincereluvdagod's new book, From the Womb to Illmatic, a hip-hop inspired blueprint for unlocking your child's inner genius. This ain't your average parenting book. This is for the culture. Inspired by Illmatic, built around his own son Seven's early development, and packed with real tools to help parents turn everyday moments into genius-level learning. If you've ever wanted to give your child a head start without losing your roots, this book is for you. Available now on Amazon. Order now and leave a 5-star review. You already know, we raising brilliance around here.
Hi, I'm Seven, and I'm the Super Harry. That means I ask big questions, I make big moves, and I come from something powerful. In this series, I broke through change, embraced my culture, and unlocked the gifts that my ancestors gave me. These books are for kids like me, kids with heart, with pride, and with big dreams. Come join the journey. Collect all 4 Seven the Super Harry books and unlock your power. Available on Amazon and Kindle now. Order your copy today.
All right, there it is. Welcome, family. Welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. I am the God Sincere Love, back in the house once again with my lovely co-host, Nicety Girl. We in the digital building.
We back with a lot to talk about.
Man.
What's going on this week?
A lot of news a week brings.
Yes.
A lot of news a week brings, man. But how's everybody doing? Happy Sunday, everybody. Once again, welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. Good to see all y'all faces in the building. As y'all coming up in here, y'all know what to do. Hit that like button for us. You hit that like button, that helps to boost our video a little bit into the YouTube algorithm. Also, when you share this out on your social media platforms, let everybody know that we are live right now. That helps to build the community and gather the forces and boost the signal. You know what I mean? And let everybody know that we live right now, about to chop it up with y'all. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. Now, we are broadcasting live right now on both YouTube channels, Sincere Love the God, as well as Godcast ENT on YouTube as well. And we're live on Facebook. And so if you're not already subscribed to us on the Godcast channel, make sure you subscribe to us over there. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers over there, and we need to get 1,000 subscribers so we can be able to activate all of the YouTube bells and whistles and stuff like that over there. So we're almost at the views that we need and the amount of subscribers that we need to make the transition. So I just realized that the other day. I just happened to look at it because I haven't even been paying no mind. We just been doing what we do.
Just doing what we do.
But I just happened to take a look to see where we was at with it, and we're very close to crossing that threshold. So if you're not already subscribed to our other channel, which we are live on right now, Godcast Enterprises on YouTube, make sure you go over there and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell as well. Shout out to DW in the building, son from Brooklyn. Salute.
Salute.
Shane Foster in the building. What's going on?
Jesse Paris.
Peace. What's good with y'all, man? Hope all is well with everybody. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. Did you watch the fight last night?
I did not. Let me just tell you this though. There were several fight parties. You know, I live in a condo, so there was I'm surrounded by obviously Hispanic people. They were all out. Like two of my neighbors had parties. You know, they had their Mexican flags out there, everything, y'all. Before the fight, you know, they're having their beers, they're playing music. It was just like lit, right? It was just silent AF. It was so funny. My son and I were talking about it. He was like, Mom, remember how loud it was before the fight? And
what happened to all that noise?
When I tell you, you can hear a pin drop. It was so crazy.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, man. Yo, that's it. Hey. Shout out to son from Brooklyn with the super chat. Appreciate the super chat. Also, you guys, another reminder about the channel membership. If you're not already a member of the channel, it's just $3 to join and become a member to get access to exclusive content that Nicely and I drop on our channel, and also early access to some of the content that we release will be available for the members only as well. So membership does have its perks. So go ahead and get you a $3 membership and come and join the tribe. Jesse Paris watched the fight. BOS salute. Yeah, yes, indeed. Shout out to Great Black Shark in the building, by the way. But yeah, the fight last night, man. Beautiful, great performance by our good brother, Terrence Bud Crawford, the best pound for pound boxer in the world right now, the GOAT of a generation right now. It was just so poetic, everything about it. Everything leading up to the fight, you know, Turkey Al-Sheikh and those guys, they did a great job with the promotion and all of that stuff, all of the build up to the fight. And the fight itself did not let down. It did not disappoint. It lived up to all the hype. But like I said, it was poetic. It was ironic. It was all of those things because yesterday was Mexican Independence Day. You got our FBA brother. You got our FBA brother, Terrence Crawford, moving up 2, some say 3, depending on, you know, how you classify things, moving up 2 to 3 weight classes to fight who they say is the greatest Mexican boxer of all time, Canelo Alvarez, the face of boxing up until last night.
I was like, he's the face?
The face of boxing up until last night, yes. Ever since he inherited that title from our other FBA great, Floyd Mayweather, you know. So and no shade to Canelo. I like Canelo. Canelo's a good boxer, you know what I'm saying? Very talented, and also just a consummate professional, you know what I'm saying? The way he carries himself, the way he goes about things. He's respectful, you know what I'm saying? He gives respect where respect is due. He's a good competitor and a good opponent. So I'm not trying to shit on him at all. But he got his ass whipped last night though.
I saw the clips. I was just like, whoa, like, whoa.
He got his ass whipped last night. My man Crawford took him to school. And like I said, it's Mexican Independence Day. You got a guy who's supposed to be smaller. He's older. He got all of these disadvantages going against him. Moves up to the middleweight class. Never fought at 168 before. Never fought at that weight class before to fight the best guy, the champ, the guy with all the belts. And he basically shut him out. I might give Canelo the first round, and after that, it was like a straight shutout. Even though when you look at the scorecards, it looked like they was trying to put the fix in. They was trying to
They was
shortchange my
trying.
nigga Crawford because they gave Canelo like 4 rounds or something like that. He did not win no 4 rounds. He was getting shut out. Um, Crawford, he was the faster guy. He was the smarter guy. You could just see the level of skill. I think he embarrassed him. He made him look worse than Floyd made him look. When
Wow.
Floyd fought him, he was a young fighter still coming up and all of that. Floyd was older on his way out the door. And, Floyd outclassed him and just showed, the gap in the level of skill. He took him to school. It wasn't even close. It was like this guy's not in the same league. He's not in the same category as Floyd Mayweather. That's the same thing that we saw last night. And I think the gap might have been even a little bit wider than what Floyd did, to be honest. The man did his thing, man. The man did his goddamn thing. It was beautiful. He was tagging the shit out of Canelo. Great fight. Great fight. And so, yeah, like you were saying about the reaction from the Mexican fans and all of that stuff, they thought they had it in the bag. You know what I'm
Literally.
saying? The whole crowd was booing my guy. You know what I'm saying? Almost everybody there was there in support of Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I think it also shows that even though I give him his props and like I say, he's a good fighter, I think this also shows that he was hyped up a little bit. He was a little overhyped. You know what I'm saying? Because
Who,
they try to,
Canelo?
yeah, he's not as good as they made him out to be. He's still good. He's still a great fighter, but he's not as great as they try to make him out to be. And the thing that they do is with other fighters, especially Mexican fighters, when they get somebody that's a good champion, they make sure that they tie that to their culture and their heritage. You know what I'm saying? Everything that Canelo does that is good, that is great, it's a win for Mexicans and Mexican culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Same thing with the Asian fighters and all of the other European fighters and stuff like that. They always attach their greatness to their culture. But when it's an FBA fighter, the FBA fighters are always individualized. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Floyd Mayweather is not looked at as a great Black American boxer. He's just looked at as Floyd Mayweather, the great boxer. Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying? Muhammad
Mm-hmm.
Ali. All of these great boxers that we have that come from our culture is never linked in with their greatness. And I think it's going to be on us. It's our responsibility to raise the next generation of great athletes, boxers in particular, and combat sports and all that in particular, because that has a real deep racial element to it. You know what I'm saying? Whenever our fighters fight, there's always a racial element to it. But the next level, the next generation of great athletes that come from our culture, we need to train them and embed them with the cultural pride that is necessary. Because the reason
Right.
why that doesn't exist is because like when Canelo come in the ring, you see Mexican flags everywhere. His
Everywhere.
clothes, everything. You know what I'm saying? When these other guys come, they
We
come with
need
their
the Black
flags.
Heritage flags,
Right,
FBA flags everywhere.
right. They come with their memorabilia. They come with all of their cultural symbols and all of that stuff. And us, you may see an American flag here or there, but even when you see that, it's just associated with American culture, which we know
Mm-hmm.
is only fly shit that come from American culture is foundational Black American shit. Anyway, we know that, but it needs to be highlighted. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like you said, coming out with that Black American heritage flag and things of that nature, coming out with our unique symbols. And even when you're doing your interviews and your promos and all of that, speaking to the pride of your culture the same way that these other fighters do. We got to start raising the next generation of fighters and athletes in general to be able to rep for our culture the way that other people rep for their culture unapologetically. You know what I'm saying? Because
Unapologetically, I
that's
agree.
part of the reason why the people out of ignorance, of course, you got people who are just trolls and people who are just anti FBA, whatever the case may be, that say shit that they know is false. But you do have a lot of people that out of ignorance say Black Americans don't have no culture. And that's part of the reason why. It's because it's not highlighted like that. It's not
Right.
pointed out like that. So they don't associate it with us. All of the things
Right.
that come from us, it just gets absorbed into mainstream culture. It's not looked at as uniquely
Ours.
foundational Black American culture. So we got to start doing things to really shift that tide, change that narrative.
I want to read something that Dewan reposted on his timeline late. He said Canelo ought to feel like ish. He said the real word. He cherry picked a ninja half his size and still lost. Overrated bum. Thoughts?
I mean, I don't agree with the bum part, but the statement is accurate. I don't think he's a bum, but definitely overrated. And yeah, they try to make it seem like Canelo was taking such a big risk fighting against
Right.
Crawford. No, all of the risk was on Crawford's side. Crawford is the one with the undefeated track record. He has that to lose. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that's the smaller guy moving up a couple of weight classes to face this guy. You know what I'm saying? Also, Canelo got 150 million last night, guaranteed no matter what, win
Wow.
or lose.
Guaranteed.
150 million.
Wow.
Bud was only guaranteed to get 10 million.
Whoa.
I think he got more
That's a
since he
huge
won.
wealth gap.
That's a huge wealth gap.
Huge wealth gap.
Huge wealth gap.
Wow.
And I understand to a certain degree. Crawford said, he's not doing it for the money. He said he's doing it for the legacy. And so he solidified that.
Give me half.
He solidified that joint. He solidified that legacy. And so now he does have the leverage to get that type of payday. I think they should do a rematch only because I don't know who else he could fight where he's gonna get 100 million and get that type of bread at this point. I don't know who else he could do that with. But I think it should be a rematch with them two. Do it again, run it back, just so my nigga could get the bag. Unless they could find another opponent that they could really hype it up and sell the fight, to where they can make sure he get that kind of payday. Because I think he might go back down a little bit because there's one more weight class in between that he can dominate and become unanimous. I mean, what do you call it? Unified in another weight division. Because right now he just solidified being unified champion in 3 different weight classes. Unheard of. Very rare air this man is breathing in. And so he could go down. He fought at 168. He can go down to 160 and grab those 3 titles, IBF, WO, WBC titles from that weight class and be unified in 4 divisions.
So also last night, didn't he get all of Canelo's belts as well?
I don't know if he got all of them.
Okay.
But whichever ones were on the line.
Okay.
Whichever ones were on the line. I don't know if it's all of them. It could be. But I think it might be just the ones for that weight class.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because Canelo got belts for a few different weight classes also. So I think he just won the ones for that weight class. But there was also a new belt that the Ring magazine gave away, and the Ring also that they gave to him also. So history was definitely made. History was definitely made. It was just a beautiful thing to see, man. Beautiful thing to see. Our accomplishments are individualized. Our challenges are group identified. Right, son from Brooklyn.
Yep.
Right, son from Brooklyn. All right, let's say that again. Our accomplishments are individualized, and our challenges are group identified. So when a foundational Black American does something great, that's just his own individual accomplishment. It ain't got nothing to do with us or our culture, our heritage, or nothing. But when a nigga go and rob a liquor store or something, oh, you niggas need to do better. Pull your pants up. Oh, what's wrong with black?
If any melanated person commit a crime, it's lumped in with foundational Black Americans. We don't get individualized crime, from other melanated, non-FBAs. They lump us all in together.
Yeah. Shout out to my brother Ish. Ish said no rematch. They're gonna cheat. And they did. They looked like they wanted to try to cheat last night, but the gap was too wide. So he do got a point there. But that's one thing I do give Canelo and I guess his team a lot of credit for. It wasn't really no dirty shit going on in the ring last night. You know what I'm saying? It was a very clean fight. You know what I'm saying? The ref didn't even have to interfere too much. It wasn't too much tying up, no crazy low blows and headbutts and all of that shit. There was one accidental headbutt, but it wasn't nothing dirty. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when they start losing, they start fighting dirty. You know what I'm saying? But it was a pretty clean, competitive fight last night. Well, I say competitive, even though it was really one-sided.
So there's a question in here from Truth Seeker. He says, or she, you're saying people should base their achievements on the race everybody else do?
When you look at a pattern, like we talking about boxing here, who has more great fighters than foundational Black Americans?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a pattern. So obviously that's something that comes from our culture. You know what I'm saying? Obviously that has something to do with us as a people that makes us great at boxing. I'm just using that as an example, but that applies to other things as well. You know what I'm saying? When there's a pattern of things that are coming from a certain group of people that other people don't seem to be able to do at the same level, that's a cultural thing. So yeah, it should be tied into the culture, to our culture. But that's the same, like she said, that's the same thing that they do with other people.
Right.
Everything that Canelo does good is associated with Mexican pride and Mexican culture. Nothing wrong with that. That's the way that it should be. And he represents for that. What I'm saying is our athletes need to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to Tori and Rain in the building.
What's up, family?
Shout out to Tori and Rain in the building. But yeah, man, that was great, man. That was great. So Ish, in your opinion, what's Bud's next move? And everybody in the chat, by the way, I would like to know your opinion. What should be Bud's next move? He's poised to get a big bag, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? He's in position now. He got the leverage now, but they're gonna have to break him off. You know what I'm saying? He took a huge pay cut last night for the legacy. The legacy is secured. Now he got to get the big bag. How's he going to do it in y'all opinion? What's the next move? I'd like to hear from y'all.
And True Seeker says, well, can the white boys do that then? They already do.
They do that.
What's the Irish dude?
Ricky Hatton.
Yeah.
Ricky
the
Hatton.
Last one.
And
I
all
can't
of
think
these.
of his
As a
name.
matter of fact, and speaking of Ricky Hatton, rest in peace, Ricky Hatton. He was found dead today. And some people are saying that he unalived himself.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Some people are saying he unalived himself. So I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know the details. I didn't. I just saw a couple of headlines, a couple of RIP headlines, whatever the case may be. But yeah,
what's the McGregor dude?
Yeah, McGregor.
He reps his culture.
Yeah, all of them. The Russians, all of them. Yeah.
And we can go to Rocky if we want to. And you can talk about even in movies. You know what I'm saying? Rocky.
Right. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Boots Ennis. Do you think Boots Ennis should be next? Okay. I could see that selling. I could see that selling some tickets.
I don't know.
It's not as big when Black fighters fight other Black fighters. It doesn't have that racial element, that racial tension there that really brings it over the top. It said Bud should retire. He could. Legacy wise, he don't got nothing else to prove.
Right.
He don't got really nothing else to accomplish. But I say go for the big bag. But you can get a big bag doing some. He can retire and get a big bag doing some exhibitions. Him and Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, him and Floyd do an exhibition or something like that. They can run a big bag up. You know what I mean? You could do something like that. But I just want to see him get a big payday.
I just cannot believe that huge gap. That was who negotiated that? That was wild.
Right.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. But today, family, we're going to be talking about, the Charlie Kirk situation and how the media is spinning everything and trying to sanitize Charlie Kirk's image and, make him out to be some type of hero. You know what I'm saying? You know how they do. That's going to be our main topic for today. But before we get into the main topic, let's talk about a couple other things that's going on out here in the news. Nicely, girl, what you got?
Sure, everything is him, to be honest.
I know, right? He's definitely dominating the cycle for the most part.
Wait, did you guys hear all of that feedback? Because there was a bunch of feedback on my end. I don't know if you guys heard it like popcorn.
I hear it coming from you. You hear it coming from me too?
I hear it on my end. Let me make this close out. Let me close out a bunch of
you sound robotic.
really quick.
You sounding robotic right now.
I have a bunch of crap open too. Okay, I got everything closed.
Go out and come back in. Your mic sounds very robotic and muffled and stuff. While she's trying to get her mic together, Boots fight won't sell. Yeah, not really, not as big. Kenneth Reed said rematch. They got to run it back. Only reason I say rematch is for the money. I mean, it's no question about who won. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they need to run it back because it could have went either way. It was so close. Like, nah. Now, only reason I say run it back is for the bag. I just want to see. I just want to see Bud get the bag. That's it. That's it. That's all. Let me see. Let me see if she's back. Let me see what that mic sounding like.
How I sound?
Go ahead, talk some more.
How do I sound? Testing, testing.
Okay, yeah, you good.
Okay.
You good. I think I ain't hear nothing just now.
I haven't heard anything.
Okay, there you go. Yep, you good.
Oh, I got a story that's not on here. Okay. I guess we can go here. Why isn't it opening? Like, why? Oh, here we go. Lord, I'm about to say. My iPad don't want to open stuff up. So,
Oh, I'm in the
and
wrong
right.
thing.
Oh, it's not opening. Hold on, y'all. Let me close some windows on my iPad because I
What's it
cannot
about?
open up. Rock
What's it about?
Nation. Rock Nation.
Oh, okay,
That
okay. I know
Desert
what you're talking
Press.
about. Oh yeah, so basically an update on the casino bidding situation in New York City. I read that article earlier. Um, so there's still three licenses available for the bidding that they're bidding for to get a casino in New York City. One of them, as we know, is Jay-Z partnered up with Caesar's Palace, trying to get a location in Times Square. And we know Nas is partnered up with Resort World, trying to do one in Queens. And there's like, I think 7 or 8 other entities that are all in competition for these 3 licenses that will be made available. So sometime this month, um, there's going to be a decision made that narrows it down. And then I think in December, they're going to make a final decision on who's going to get approved for those licenses. And so in the article, they interviewed Desiree Perez, and she's just talking about some of the initiatives and things that they plan on doing if they do get approved for the community and surrounding businesses and stuff like that. So they just kind of doing some PR to try to
Okay.
ingratiate people and get people to embrace them and get on their side to go with the bidding. But they seem to be doing a lot. One thing that stood out to me in the article though was she kept using the example of their LGBTQ initiative.
Mm.
She's like, yeah, it's going to be good, not just for us, it's going to be good for everybody. Like, for example, the LGBTQ, whatever it's called. We got this much money for them. And it's not like we got to make the money. If we get approved, they're going to get the money on day one. And so I'm like, okay, well, why are they getting money for it?
Right.
What they got to do with anything? Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all talking about helping the community and the surrounding areas and stuff like that. And it's Manhattan. So, Manhattan is already Manhattan. It's the most expensive real estate probably in the country. But I'm just saying how LGBT people got their hands all in the jar. We need to study them.
Right. We need to study them real quick. Cause I'm thinking like, what is sexuality, and
Right.
gender identity? Because that's part of their community have to do with, you know, helping
That
the community. Like,
Right, that's the thing. But I'm just looking at how they organize and position themselves, where you have to meet their approval in order to be able to do business. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a lot of money behind them, though.
A lot of money,
It's a lot of money.
a lot of money, a lot of power.
Follow the money.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think there's some things that could be studied there that we could take some cues from. Like Elijah
Yeah,
Muhammad always say, study your enemy, man. He's wise in his ways. Shout
absolutely.
out to Mama Love for the $10 super chat.
Hey, Mama Love. Thank you.
Appreciate the
I see
super
her in
chat.
there. So I am just learning this week, um, during the Charlie Kirk, debacle about Officer David Rose. This is something
Right.
that happened last month. We're damn near mid September at this point. And so the CDC shooting, Officer David Rose honored at a memorial service. And again, I'm kind of just learning about him. I'm going to say just this week, that Charlie Kirk was murdered. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why haven't we heard about this guy? What happened
Right.
in this situation? Why was this buried news? We
All
know
right.
why. Yeah, we know why.
Right.
But this happened in Dunwoody, Georgia. Where's Dunwoody?
Down the
Georgia.
block. Down the block. That's
It's Dunwoody.
right outside the city. Right outside
So
the city. So there was that's where the CDC is at.
okay.
There was a shooting out there, right? There was some
Yeah,
type
there
of
was a shooting
shooting
out
that went
there.
down out there, and a black cop was the first person to respond, and he ended up losing his life. And so he's being honored by some of the local officials here. But like she said, there was no international news covering
Mhm.
this, talking about his heroism. Trump is not out here saying he's going to give him the Presidential Medal of Freedom and all of
Right.
this stuff and giving them the 21 gun salute and all of the stuff that they're doing for Charlie Kirk, who is not a hero. He didn't serve in the military or anything like that. He wasn't in law enforcement. He didn't do anything besides go around the country spewing anti-black white supremacist rhetoric. That was
Better.
literally the only thing that he was known for. But he's being, lionized and given this whole hero treatment because, he was slain in the way that he was slain. But why are they doing that? That's what we here to answer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the question that we here to answer today. So we might as well go into it since we
Right.
already here. But um that's what white supremacy, that's what the white supremacist power structure does. You know what I'm saying? They figure out ways to maintain themselves, and they always need martyrs, heroes, things of that nature in order to just fabricate this storyline that makes them into victims and like people that have to overcome some type of something. Because notice, this shit ain't got nothing to do with us, right?
I was just gonna say that. What about the white supremacist collaborators? Because there's a whole bunch of Sambozos out here, in the words of Great Black Shark, Sambozos out here who, you know, are putting videos up, what I'm saying, of white people, what I'm saying, that criticize heavily Charlie Kirk, and a lot of them from the LGBT community. Nonetheless, they're still white people, right?
Right.
But in the captions, black people are being criticized, and I'm just like, what do we have to do with this? Like,
We ain't got nothing to do with
we
nothing.
ain't got nothing to do with this video, yet our names are being spewed out and the whole time. And if you think about it, the governor, in that area, he said the quiet part out loud during the press conference.
And then Utah,
Yeah.
governor of Utah, who's a white Republican, also what he say?
When he said that, they were hoping that it wasn't one of us. We were hoping that it was someone from another country. We were hoping that it was someone from another state. We
Yeah.
were hoping it wasn't one of us. No, it's you. It
Right.
usually is you.
Right. That's crazy. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I want to hear from some of the family on this too. So I'm gonna drop the link in the chat early, and anybody that wants to chime in, y'all could click the link in the chat, and I'll bring you guys on one at a time so you could share your thoughts. Oh, I wasn't trying to do that. Hold on. Let me
And
do
also
that.
this whole thing where black people are being chastised and saying that, no one should celebrate the death of, or the murder of someone. And I don't feel like I've seen that. And maybe there are black people out there that are doing that. But what I have seen is black people just being indifferent and black people calling out his rhetoric. That's it. That's all. Black people
Mhm.
are just indifferent about it, you know? And
Right,
that's it.
for the
I
most
don't
part.
see black people just out here like, oh yeah, good for him. Like, I have not seen any of that at
Right,
all. So I don't understand where that narrative came from. I seen a bunch of white people, one celebrating his death, some, and then you have some that are trying to, lionize him. But
right,
this is just the white community. Black people have called out his rhetoric, yes.
right. Absolutely. Yeah, they're upset about our indifference. You
Right,
know what I'm saying? Our indifference is seen as, us being celebratory by them. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to like weaponize sympathy. Like, they're trying to
right.
guilt
Play
us
on our
into,
heartstrings.
guilt us into being sympathetic, because they know how we are just by nature. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We're humanitarian people. You know what I'm saying? We have sympathy and empathy for others and all of that. But no, we know exactly what this man was a symbol for and what he stood for, because him himself, he's a nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's really a nobody, but what he represents and what he's a mouthpiece for is very problematic. You know what I'm saying? And so, of course, we indifferent about that. It didn't have nothing to do with us. None of us went out and did
Exactly.
that. You know what I'm saying? We didn't go
And
out and try to hurt this man or end his life or anything like that. This was some white supremacist infighting that was taking place. Y'all need to
exactly.
clean up your own communities.
And the crazy part about it is, for those 33 hours that it took for them to get him, for his father to turn him in, allegedly, right? Everything was about black people. And as soon as it was determined who he was and that he was turned in and all this stuff, then it turned into the left. The left. This is the left's
Mm-hmm.
fault. The left and their rhetoric. And it's like there's rhetoric on both sides.
Right. Right. And we got my brother Ish in the building. My brother Ish want to chime in. Anybody else that want to chime in, the link is in the chat, by the way. Great Black Shark, the link is in the chat. If you want to chime in, we definitely want to hear the thoughts from the family today.
What's up, brother Ish?
Brother Ish is on the road. Good.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
All right. How y'all doing? Everybody good?
We good. Yes, sir. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Hey, I wanted to be real quick. Hopefully, I won't. My signal won't go out. But y'all touched on something just a moment ago about there's no international coverage about Captain Kirk's death. So I saw something this morning, and I don't know
Hold
if
on though,
everybody
Ish.
can you hear me.
Yeah, I hear you, but I wanted to correct that real quick. We were saying
David Rose.
there's no international coverage about the black cop that got
Oh,
killed out here at the CDC.
my
Right.
bad. My bad.
David
David
Yeah.
Rose.
Rose. David Rose. Yes. Okay. Good piece to catch up on, because I was watching that one as well about the brother David Rose. But I tell you one thing about that, since y'all touched on that, and I missed it probably because my cell signal. Uh, the family around here, and when I say around here, I ain't back there yet, but the family around Georgia, the black folks, they took care of that family. That family was taken
Amen.
care of real fast. I don't know if everybody saw that. It wasn't saw probably internationally or whatever,
Right.
but they took care of him real quick, and that made me proud to be around that area in them parts of Georgia. But the one part about this Captain Kirk dude, and I don't know if everybody saw this or are seeing this, they're trying to make this dude a martyr
Oh yeah.
internationally, and this is the first
Mm-hmm.
time I saw it this morning. So I'm catching a news cycle, and they're saying that, oh, there was a march over in London, 100,000 people showed up, and they didn't say it was for Captain. It was like, yeah, they were some were, martyrizing him or memorializing Kirk, trying to make it sound like it was for him. It had nothing to do with dude. It had something to do with that one cat over there that's a right wing. I forget his name. He was locked up, and they was out there standing for him. He's like a Trump type of dude over there in London. So they're trying to connect him, because he has nothing.
Oh
You know what I'm saying? And it was on the
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
message board this morning. You know what I'm saying? So watch out for that. They're trying to link him to something. And the last thing I'll say, and let everybody else come up, unless y'all got some questions, is I hope that 47, lies his body in the road. I hope he gives him the presidential medal of freedom. I hope for all of that. I hope he do it all, because I want to
I
see
was
everybody else's response to it. I want to see
right.
Barack Obama come
Mhm.
out and say, "Hey, you wrong for that. You don't do that." No,
Right.
tell the Obamas out here, having sympathy and empathy with this tether
Right.
Right.
behind. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to see personally. But I don't want to hold up the crowd. I appreciate y'all for letting me on.
Thanks.
Nah, that was a good point, and that was going to be my question to you. What do you think about him getting, or possibly getting this Presidential Medal of Honor? What do you think about it, and why? But you just answered that question right there, and that's a good answer, because we get to see who is who, and it really shows people what's really going on out here, because people try to make this a right versus left thing, and
Hmm.
they even try to wag their finger at us. Well, y'all was the one saying sit on the couch and no tangibles, no vote, and all of that shit, as if we did something wrong because one is supposed to be better than the other. But no, this
Right.
just shows they one and the same. It's a distinction without a difference. And I don't know how to get back to the. Oh, I think it was this one. Yeah, it's a distinction without a difference when you talk about the left wing and the right wing. And thank you, good brother Ish, for chiming in. It's a distinction without a difference. They both the same. Both sides are empathetic and showing sympathy towards what's his name, Captain Kirk, as my brother calls him right now. You know what I'm saying? You don't see the left standing up speaking truth to power like that.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying?
At best, they're speaking on his rhetoric, at best. But everybody's having sympathy. Everybody is telling black people how they're supposed to feel. You know what I'm
Right.
saying, and trying to shun us, on our indifference about it. Because no one that I know of is celebrating it. And I also wanted to go back to what Ish was saying. Them trying to globally monetize him and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, and using a situation from someone in the UK. What I've seen on X, and I'm glad that he mentioned that, is because they're sharing videos about people, out. I don't know if they're protesting or celebrating that one dude that he was talking about. Grok is actually correcting people that are trying to share those videos that has to do with another man and saying it's about Charlie Kirk. So I've seen where Grok has corrected those videos.
You gotta explain for people that don't know, people that ain't on Twitter, what is Grok and what do you mean by that?
So Grok is basically it's like a fact checker. It's another fact checker. So if you share a video of something and say it's this is sincere, love the God performing, at Coachella, Grok is gonna be like, no, that's not sincere love the God, that's Kanye West. And
Right.
he performed on such and such date, blah blah blah. So it'll break everything down. And so I have been, and I didn't even correlate it honestly until he said something. I was just like, oh, these are the white supremacists just making up stuff. And
Yeah,
now
that's what
that
they
he
do.
said it, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait a minute, Grok has literally been correcting all these people about these videos that they're posting.
All right. All right. And
I
so
should
like you
have I
say,
should have put them in the materials, but honestly, I was just like, okay, they're just lying. I didn't even think about it.
all right. Like you said, Grok is supposed to be like a
Right.
fact checker. It's a built-in AI that X, formerly known as Twitter, has, but Grok be on there lying his ass off too.
It does, but in this situation, it actually has
Yeah,
been correcting a lot of these people who are using videos that has nothing to do with this situation. It's been correcting them,
yeah, no doubt. No,
surprisingly.
no doubt. But to add to what I was saying about this manufactured martyrdom and heroism that they're trying to put on Kirk, it's like his death is already being reframed, not just as a tragedy, but as something that adds to his brand. You know what I'm saying? It adds to the hero narrative and the victim mantle that they want to place white people on overall. You know what I'm saying? He's the
Mhm.
proxy for all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's a familiar move. They use violence or threats of violence to amplify their influence. You know what I'm saying? To make them seem like they're victims of something and that they're heroes by overcoming, the boogeyman that's coming for them when, all of that shit is manufactured. You know what I mean? So
All of
they
it is manufactured, and they're also, I think, especially they tried to really modernize him when they found out it was one of their own. Like, we really have to change the narrative because we're definitely not going to talk about all of these white mass shooters, because typically it fits the description. You know what I'm saying? It's the usual suspect when it comes to mass shootings, school shootings, and in this situation, this, right? So they don't want to talk about the bad apples within their society, or just the fact that, what was it, the same week or the week before, it was the Colorado school shooting, or was it a few days within? They're
right,
not even talking about that.
right, right. Because those stories are not as useful to them as this story is. This story is very useful to them. They use this stuff to reshape not just narratives, but people's behavior. They use this to reshape policies, and
Hmm.
to get public consent to change certain policies and all of that, to start taking away more rights and privacies and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? They're able to weaponize the blood of Charlie Kirk to shield them from criticism. So now, if you criticize Charlie Kirk's rhetoric and the things that he was saying, all of the anti-black stuff that he was spewing, you're looked at as being, anti-sympathetic, or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm. They're
you're
trying to
kind of
change the narrative.
outcasted, and they start gaslighting you because you're supposed to be sympathetic. This man just got killed. He's a father. He's this, that, and the third, and you're over here criticizing him. You know what I'm saying? So
You're supposed to let that go. You're supposed to forget about all,
right,
that stuff. But let them tell it. That stuff is true. He was telling the truth. And then they're also trying to, well,
right,
he was a Christian man, and he was killed in front of his wife and his children. So was Malcolm X.
right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? I've never heard this much sympathy for him.
right. Yeah, man. Like you said,
Oh,
some
what
of
you
these
say,
other
Jay?
stories, that's not really getting that type of attention is selective mourning. It's selective mourning. They
Mm-hmm.
decide who gets visibility when they die and who doesn't. You know what I'm saying? The system picks certain deaths to mourn loudly and uses that in the media cycles, while other stories get faded into the background. Nobody even knows what's going about it. You know what I'm saying? That's how they maintain their code. They stay on code with each other through selective visibility with these type of crimes, that take place.
Yes, Torian, I did see her speech. And first of all, your husband just died 3 days ago. Like, I don't know. And
I
then
didn't
maybe
see
they're
it.
just different. I saw it, his legacy is gonna live on, and we're gonna like it was. I don't know. It was dog whistles in her speech. You know, I don't know. I think I wouldn't have been able. I would have been too sick to talk personally. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, these people are kind of weird to me. But I did see
Okay.
it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just reading through the chat. Reading through the chat. I know our brother Great Black Shark said he's in a noisy area right now, so
Yeah.
he can't get on. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat one more time, just in case anybody else wants to chime in and add their thoughts on today's topic.
I
Uh,
I gotta talk about our Royce White. We had Royce White,
the link is in the
on the
chat.
Black Business Showcase a
What's
couple
going
of
on with
years
Royce
ago.
White? Because our brother,
Dewan and him been going back and forth.
because the one hit me up and asked me, he was like, "Yo, what you think about what Royce White been saying?" I missed it. What was Royce White talking about?
So he was the one who actually posted the video of all these white people that were criticizing Charlie Kirk. But then he started talking about, black people. He was criticizing black people. So Dewan hops on there and was like, there's not one black person in this video. So why are you, and I'm paraphrasing, basically, why are you adding us up in this? And so he
Right.
was just like, F you, fat boy. And so Dewan being Dewan, they kind of just went back and forth about it. But I wanted to talk about this one post that I shared with in our materials that he posted, and so he's basically calling himself calling us out by name. Now, again, we had nothing to do with this killing, right? He
Right.
says, George Soros, preserve your documents. Go after all the blatantly dishonest media companies. Another thing, this whole FBA black movement is turning out to be a scam, getting roped right back into the same race narrative with white liberal feminists and the LGBTQ. People are really making themselves look silly as a and as tragic as those times are, the light is shining bright on you soulless demons. You don't need superpowers to be a hero. You only need the courage to tell the truth and take the scrutiny. We're not going to unify with people who celebrate murder and dance on graves. We're going to unify with, no, we're not going to unify with these weird vegan, cokehead, pill popping yoga for orgies or views, occultists, and what I don't know what this other word is.
He does
Who
that.
believe,
He does it.
yeah,
He does a lot of word salad. He
who
does that.
believes in drag shows for toddlers. First of all,
You
okay,
see how he's convoluting everything?
everything.
Convoluting everything. The FBAs with liberals and LGBT people and all of these other weird movements
Feminists,
and
which we're not
organizations.
for that,
Right. He's just convoluting everything into one big bag that he's criticizing. You know what I'm
and
saying?
not calling out white supremacy
At
because there's
all.
no such thing as white supremacy in their eyes.
Right. And you know, he comes up under Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon is like one of his mentors and all of that. And again, I see my brother Torian Rain in backstage and DW. I see y'all backstage. I'm gonna get y'all on in just a second. Just let me respond to what nice you just read about Royce White. And we had him on the show before. You know what I'm saying? He was running for Congress out there in Minnesota.
Still, yes, still is.
He's running again, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Out there in Minnesota. We had him on. We had a good discussion with him, but we also had some disagreements. And I've always right. And I've always said, yeah, a lot of his talking points, a lot of his views are very off code and problematic. You know what I'm saying? And he's a charismatic speaker, but he thinks he's going to ingratiate himself over there with the Republicans and the right wings and all of that. And he's going to get his nigga wake up call sooner or later.
Well, first of all, from my understanding and just off of what was posted between his argument with Dewan, you know, you're supposed to be this, you know, conservative, all about family and stuff, and you ain't even taking care of your kids. I'm just saying. So you can't talk about it. You got to be about it. You can't talk that life. You actually have to be about that life. And again, you have children. You didn't marry their mothers. You didn't even try. Sometimes marriages don't work. You know what I'm saying? I've been married before. My marriage did not last forever, but we tried it. You know what I'm saying? For the sake of our child. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even try. You just made some children and didn't even put a ring on it. So don't come over here. And I'm just saying, again, I'm going by what was, you know, the rhetoric that was in, and also the news articles, because Dewan was also, you know, putting the news articles in there about his child support and the not being there for his children. There's
it was getting dirty.
Yeah, there's actual news articles about you basically being a deadbeat, but you're so pro-family.
I didn't know about all that. But let's get our brother Torian Rain up in here. I want to hear what Torian Rain got to say about today's topic. What's going on, brother Torian?
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Listen, they have been crashing out for the last. It feels like it's been longer than the days that it has been. It feels like we've been talking about this for like almost. It feels like a month. The way that they have been going on about this. But I think the funniest part for me is I just got off Threads. You have these individuals out there protesting, talking about white men fight back. Against yourselves,
fight back against who?
Like that to me is the funniest part. Like I literally just saw a protest video. I think they said they were out there at Huntington Beach, literally out there talking about white men fight back, and they holding up this picture of Charlie Kirk.
That's out here.
Yeah, so you know about it.
Yes, that's out here.
Yeah, I said when I looked at that, I said that is the absolute funniest thing I've probably seen since this whole thing went off like that. And the thing is, I said they got themselves wrapped up into knots. And then, of course, you know about what the governor out there said. He said, we prayed for 33 hours, and you know what? I wasn't expecting it to come back like this. I wasn't expecting it to be from, it was us. I was like, oh, well, please continue. Because I was like, you're right there on the verge. You're right there on the verge of saying it. We know what you wanted to say. I'm like, you're in Lily White, Utah. I looked up the demographic for the entire state of Utah. The black population in Utah is like 2.3% for the entire state of Utah. Someone has said that most of that 2.3% is the Utah Jazz.
Right.
And you know they wasn't gonna be nowhere near it. So I'm like sitting there saying to myself, y'all put, and I said this could not have been more poetic, because they were going in on what was going on down in North Carolina with that woman and that guy on that public transit. See, that's what they were going off of that. That's what they were feeding into, and then this happens like soon after it. And then now, because they had put this narrative out there that, because I actually uploaded a video today about Matt Walsh and him talking about how black men are like the most dangerous demographic of men in the country. Then he even went in further and said that the most dangerous demographic of men in the world. Like he went to the world with his narrative. Mind you, he made and put that video up the day before Charlie Kirk got taken out, the exact day before. And then this happens. So now, because the thing is, you will never get them to call out or mention white on white crime. I have yet to see any one of them say it. All they've done is say, "Oh, it was the left. You know, it was the Dems.
That's all
it was this." And
I've even heard it's the Jews.
That's exactly. And then the craziest part is you got these people creating whole networks to get people fired if they speak bad about Charlie Kirk.
Yes, I saw that
Like
too.
I literally was on Twitter and people, I forgot what this one chick's name was. She said that she done sent out like about 700 plus emails. I said, did you even go to sleep? I mean, she's all over like different places doing interviews talking about this and everything like that. You even had Marco Rubio saying, we will revoke your visas if you are talking ill of Charlie Kirk. So you're not so you're not letting people come over if they say something.
Look. You got Ray Higgins, who's the a congressman down there in Louisiana. He said this, quote, I'm going to use congressional authority and every influence with big tech platforms to mandate immediate ban for life of every post or commenter that belittle the assassination of Charlie Kirk. If they ran their mouth with their smart-ass hatred celebrating the heinous murder of that beautiful young man who dedicated his whole life to delivering respectful conservative truth into the hearts of liberal enclave universities, armed only with a Bible and a microphone and the Constitution, those profiles must come down. So I'm going to lean forward in this fight, demanding that big tech have zero tolerance for violent political hate content, the user to be banned from all platforms forever. I'm also going after their business licenses, permitting. Their businesses will be blacklisted aggressively. They should be kicked from every school.
Lawsuits.
Their driver's license should be revoked. I'm basically going to cancel with extreme prejudice these evil, sick animals who celebrated Charlie Kirk's assassination, and I'm starting that today.
So, no more First Amendment, free speech.
Right.
That's out the window. These are the same people that quote unquote cancel. These are the same people that quote unquote champion against cancel culture. I was like, look at what you're doing right now. And the thing is, if you go back and look at a lot of the stuff that they posted, just even this year alone, they were posting up stuff about the complete opposite of what they're doing now. But one thing that I said was when I first learned that he had what happened with him, and I had did a live on that same evening, is that the reason why they're crashing out like this about Charlie Kirk is because he was a major part on their side of the chessboard that got knocked off. He wasn't a pawn on that chessboard. He played a huge part. He had a very, very large platform, and they needed someone like that. Now they got to scramble to try to find his replacement. That's why they're losing their minds right now, because they don't know who they're going to put there. Because if they can find anyone to do it, that's why.
I was going to say, who's stepping up?
Because he appeals to the younger generation, and so they keep saying that he's the founder of Turning Point USA, but really he's just the face of Turning Point USA. He's not the real founder behind it. They put him out there to be the voice, the mouthpiece, and the face of it, so that he can attract the younger crowd, that younger generation, because they know how important it is to maintain white supremacy through generations.
Now they're also saying that the killer is now not cooperating. What do you guys think the motive was? Just speculate.
Good question. And then we're going to get DW on.
That is a good question, and that's why I'm glad that they actually brought him in alive, because I think a lot of people want to know what the motive was behind what he did. And it's crazy because when I was looking at, because I saw the video, because how I learned about it, I saw Charlie Kirk trending, and I'm sitting there thinking like, oh God, Charlie Kirk trending. What nonsense? I said, what? My first thing was, what nonsense did he say right now that got that Twitter talking to get him trending like this? Because usually that's how it is. Not knowing that that's what I was going to see. Now, from what I actually also read into further is that when he got shot, initially, I thought that he got shot right there immediately in the neck. But what I learned is that he had a bulletproof vest on, and the bullet bounced off and ricocheted off the bulletproof vest and then went up to his neck. And the
that's
bullet
what it looked like too in his video.
Yeah, because if you look at it, you can see the bounce off his shirt. So it literally bounced off the shirt, off the bulletproof vest, and bounced up to his neck. And
you guys don't think it was two shots? You guys don't think it was two shots? Maybe. Like I felt like because if it bounced, like I don't know, I feel like it bounced and maybe another one went through. I don't know.
The only way the thing is, the only way to determine that is they'll have to say how many shell cases did they find. Right. If they only found one, then it was a bounce off. But if they found two, then he took more than one shot. But the fact of the matter is, he did that from over 200 yards. Do you know how hard that is to land your target?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing from a lot of military people. That wasn't his first rodeo.
Also, When they're saying like if he did that, with some type of rifle that you can break down, I get it. But with their, you can't break down what I think I saw. You can't break that down.
Yeah,
Like,
he
you know what I'm
it
saying?
was definitely coordinated. He was not operating as no lone
Alone.
wolf. You know what I'm saying? I don't, we
Mhm.
don't buy that at all. And
And I
so,
knew, honestly, I think someone I when I saw it, and I think I saw it minutes after it happened. As soon as it was posted, I saw it. I think I'm probably one of the first people, and I was like, "Yo, family!" I said, "Well, second people." I'm like, "Family, is this true?" And I honestly thought that someone made an AI video. And then when I saw his hands kind of squeeze like that, I was like, "He gone." And someone
Yeah, his
DM'd me
body, his body
the way
went
his
limp,
body
and then
he
and
was
body went limp, and then I was like, oh
right
yeah, this is
away.
real.
I said, this is real, and then someone DM'd me, and I was like, if he survives this, then I don't see that happen. It was just the way his body was, I just
Yeah, and I
immediately
saw.
started getting
I don't know if y'all
mad.
saw the. I don't know if y'all saw the close up video, but when I saw that close up video, I said, "Oh, he ain't surviving that." The way that
Yeah, I
looked,
said
I
that.
said, "Oh, he's gone." I
yeah,
said
He's
because
gone.
you got to think there's a lot of veins and arteries in your neck,
Mm-hmm.
right,
and the way he
Oh,
was bleeding,
right.
out, it wasn't like drops. It was like a whole.
it was a
I,
Stream.
good.
Yeah.
I compared it to a busted pipe. You know how when a pipe bursts and all the water just
Mhm.
gush out? That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah,
And it was
facts.
his hands, the way that last, how his hands kind of squeezed. I was like, if he survives this, that's a miracle because I just couldn't see it. And then thinking about the distance, even though we didn't know for sure, but it couldn't have been someone in the audience. That means that he was shot with a 223 or larger. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely a long gun. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, if you guys know anything about firearms. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like there
Nice he
was just
dropping
no
that
way he could
shit.
survive that. No way.
Hey, but
All right,
Torian,
go ahead.
One more.
let everybody know where your channel and stuff like that. You want to ask one more
Oh,
question, you said?
oh
Yeah,
no,
I
I
wanted
was
to talk about how crazy it was that he went out talking about black folk.
Oh yeah.
the last two
Last
words out of
word.
his mouth was gang violence. The
Right.
last
Yes.
two words.
Right.
That,
Talk
Yes.
that's
about poetic.
and I was actually talking when I was actually talking to Dewan B on his channel. I said it's crazy how everything he talked about set up his demise. I mean, you got to think about it.
Everything.
He talked about gang violence. He talked about maybe there needs to be more mass shootings so we can protect the Second Amendment.
All of that.
And then
Yes.
and then another one that people leave out is when he was on his show. It was him and like three other guys on there. He was talking about public executions and that it should
Yep.
be televised.
Yep.
I'm like, literally, this
Yep.
guy literally spoke to
Whoa.
his
Yep.
entire fate, and it
Yep.
all of that came into fruition on that one day.
And he
And
said
also,
he
he
doesn't
says that he
believe in
doesn't want
empathy.
empathy or
Right.
Didn't
sympathy.
believe in empathy,
Right.
exactly. And here we are, and then they getting mad at us.
Right.
Getting
Right.
mad at
Not
us,
mad at the person who said it.
right?
Right.
But anyway, y'all. But yeah, you would ask me.
Shout out your channel. Yeah, shout out your channel. I want
yeah.
to make sure everybody subscribe to our brother's channel.
Oh yeah, you can find me right on here. Torian Rain Reloaded. Upload. I try to do like 2 videos a day. I might have to slip in a live stream because I really want to break down Erica Kirk's so-called speech, and I actually found the whole thing. The whole thing is like nearly 20 minutes long because they keep playing the same part over and over, like in the loop. But I think that's the part they really want you to focus on. But I found it, so I'm probably
We need
will
that. We
go
need
live.
that breakdown from you.
Yeah, I'll probably go live maybe tomorrow about that.
All right. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, man. Very good content right there.
Appreciate you, but thanks for bringing me up.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Peace.
And Great Black Shark brings up the good point. I saw that too. Now that they're claiming that Tyler Robinson is now dating his lover as a trans. I saw that in the news that he's allegedly he was dating someone that's trans. If he
I was gonna
was,
say
I'm
that. I was
sure
gonna
the
say
trans
that.
is white. So what difference does it make?
I was gonna say that they're talking about. I didn't hear the dating part, but they said his roommate, his college roommate, is a trans person, and that might have been part of the motivation.
Anybody but white supremacy, anything but white on white crime. Now they're gonna. You couldn't stick it to the black people, so now you're gonna stick it on over here to this other, group. I guess.
Yeah.
Crazy work.
But we got DW in the building. DW, what's your thoughts? Chime in.
Hey sis, how are you?
Oh, I didn't even know that was you. What's up?
Can you guys hear me? Hi, can you guys hear me good?
Do you got the Bluetooth on?
Yeah, I do.
It
Try
sounds
it
like you're
without.
far
Try it
away.
without the Bluetooth. It'll be better
Okay.
without the Bluetooth.
Okay, let me try it that way. Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yes.
that's better.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, anyways, how are you guys today?
We're
What's up?
good.
Peace.
Yeah, okay, good. It's nice to, we're in California. It's a nice day out today. So I'm out
Yes,
and
it is.
about doing my thing and listening to you guys' commentary. I'm loving what you guys
Thank
are saying
you.
so far. So kudos to you. Um, but I want to give a perspective from a Utah girl.
Oh
Oh
yeah, I
yeah!
forgot.
Wow!
Hold on. Let me get you
Wow!
prop. Let me get you good up here. Let me get you good on the screen. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Chime on in, Utah.
I'm a Salt Lake City girl, born and raised. So, I know Utah like the back of my hand. So I just want to give context in which where Charlie Kirk was, doing his speech. My little sister actually went to that school, UVU. She's a more of a professional student, so she wasn't on the campus or whatever. But I was asking her about that campus, and she says it's a really good public school. It actually has more students at that school than the University of Utah because it's affordable with good academics. She said there's not a lot of black people up there. There's like a sprinkle here and there. She said they had like a black student union and like nobody joined it. So that's how, there's no black people over there. So that just gives you context. But Orem and Provo, like that is like the I think Ari Spears one time had a shirt that said Utah is the Africa for white people. Like, I don't
That's
know if you saw
crazy.
that. Right? That is Orem. Like that is like Molly Mormon, white as snow. Like the maybe the darkest people you'll probably see over there is maybe some Polynesians, maybe some Samoans, someone from that, or you might see, maybe Asian or Indian, but you're not
Everybody,
gonna see black
it's
people.
Sincere Love the God's goddaughter's birthday today. So everybody
Oh,
wish her a happy birthday.
Happy
Big
birthday!
25. Don't play with her.
Happy birthday, girl. Happy
yeah.
birthday. Happy birthday.
We're kind of matching.
Yeah.
This my daughter right here, Rhea.
Nice.
This my goddaughter, Aaliyah. Everybody say hi.
Or she's in
Hi.
the chat.
Yeah,
Bye.
happy
Are you
birthday.
coming out? Or
Huh?
what are you coming to Buffalo Wild Wings?
No, y'all do your thing.
Okay, cool.
Do your thing. Have fun. Be safe.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that,
That's cute.
y'all.
Daughter. But and so I just want to put into context like what Charlie Kirk was out there doing, right? When we last night, I don't know if you heard, Jason's Black's eulogy and about, basically the plan for him was to, usher in this new age of Jim Crow, right? And so he's out there, I mean, right before he's about to start talking about black people, he said gang violence and he gets shot. But he's out there talking to people who will never, ever, ever, ever be around black people.
Right.
Black violence or whatever, even if any of that stuff is true, none of these people will ever be impacted by black people. They
Right.
have the privilege, right? They have the privilege to, not be around black folks. And if anything that they know about black people in general is going to be from a stereotype, right? Because
Hmm.
I remember, in Utah, when you're interacting with, the dominant society, they are interacting with you as though like you're a caricature, right?
Wow.
There's like a cognitive dissonance that happens there. Like, so he's talking to a group of people who will never ever and have the privilege to make a choice to never ever be around black people at all. So their concept of black people will be whatever they see or whatever they learn off from each other and what they see on TV. They just have that privilege. Like Tyler Robertson, he was, lived in Washington County, Utah. That's like St. George. That's all these little small towns. There's no black people out
Black people
there.
over there.
None. St. George, actually, when I was driving sometimes I drive home from California, Utah. It's like an 8-hour drive. And the last time I was driving through St. George, there was a dude with a truck with a huge Confederate flag on the back of it.
In
Right. So,
California. Wow.
yeah. So there's no black people in that area. So in terms of what we're talking about, like him trying to usher in like a new age of Jim Crow segregation or, Jim Crow, uh, this is where it's getting started. This is where, this is where the ember starts is in these
Right.
areas that don't have any sort of like interaction or connection with Black people just in general. You know what I mean?
Right.
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 So yeah, I just wanted to
That.
give that perspective from a Utah girl because and the
Thank
Black
you
people
for
that had to
coming on.
survive. Yes.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that
Thank
perspective.
you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Have
All
a good
right.
one. Talk to you soon.
I wanted to say something about hold on, let me get the screen back how we had it. I was gonna say how, we keep mentioning, everybody keeps mentioning how everybody trying to throw Black people in this, and people are mad at us
Mhm.
because we're not mourning, and we're being accused of celebrating this man's death and all of that stuff. The problem with our indifference is that it's not just a benign indifference, it's a strategic indifference.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And so by us refusing the demand to exclusively mourn this man's death, or to fill the public role that we're expected to fill, as the moral people and all of that stuff, by us refusing to do that and resisting to do that, that is strategic, and it just shows that we're not being controlled emotionally. We're not just
Right. Anymore.
falling in line and all of that stuff. So that's the reason why it got these people with their panties in such a bunch. Our indifference is not just indifference, a neutral thing. It's a strategic thing. It's a form of resistance. So I love it.
I do too, but now we're seeing a bunch of tethers on there crying. Have you seen the videos of
Oh
the
my
one
God.
female? She in here literally boo hooing. You know what
I'll
I'm saying?
share
As
that.
if she knew this man personally. And it's just like, ma'am, what? He don't even like you.
And
He
I'm gonna share that. But right, he don't even think you're a human being.
he
But
don't even think you're a human being. If you hired anywhere, you DEI,
where is it?
low IQ.
I don't see it.
It's go up a little bit more. Up. It's not far. It's not far though. She about to come up. You gonna see this black dude and then her.
Um,
Boom. Here it comes. And also, you guys, it's being alleged that his father was a sheriff as well for 25 years and was
uh,
able to, talk his son into turning himself in. And as of today, the governor has stated that he's refusing to cooperate. There she is.
uh,
Listen to this.
My God, Charlie. Charlie. Oh my God.
man,
Oh no, my God.
what the hell, man?
Oh my, oh God.
Kind of makes you think
Charlie
about
Buzzard.
Elizabeth, the Queen Elizabeth when she died.
Right,
Remember? You know what I'm saying? Same thing.
right. And I got a personal story. I wish I would have recorded this the other day, but
Oh God,
we had a
what?
discussion in the barber shop. Um, it was a Ghanaian dude. I was talking to one of the barbers. One of the barbers in the shop. He's from Jamaica, and he didn't know most people never even heard of Charlie Kirk until after this. You know what I'm saying? If
Right.
you're not really paying attention like that, you don't know who he is. And so he didn't know who he was or whatever. So he was just saying, I don't, why he was asking like why people saying they don't feel bad for him or whatever case may be. He was like, who was this dude? Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, all I know is he was somebody's father and da 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 da. And so I started explaining to him who he was, and the dude that he had in his chair, he looked back and he was like, yeah, but we all brothers and we all human beings and da 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 da. And he got this heavy ass West African accent. So I'm like, I was like, where you from? Where's your family from? He was like, oh, we from Ghana. I said, yeah, well, all right. Let me tell you something. I said, this is my country. My country been here. My family been here for generations. I have an intimate relationship with this country because he was saying something about American values.
Right.
That's what he was saying. He was like, in this country, what I'm saying, it's all about freedom or this, that, and the third. And I was like, listen, this is my country. My family, we've been here. I got an intimate relationship with this country. This country don't get credit for none of that. They don't uphold none of those values that you're talking about.
Especially.
Yeah. I was like, why are you trying to give America all of these props that they don't deserve? I said, that's a universal. Those are universal principles that you're talking about. I said, my family and my culture, we uphold those principles. You know what I'm saying? But that's not something that America, this government, gets credit for at all. You know what I'm saying?
Think about what America has done to their country. So like, why are you all of a sudden?
Yeah, that's the reason why you're over here.
Right.
That's the reason why you're over here. But I really wish I would have recorded that conversation because it turned into a whole thing. It turned into a whole little back and forth with me and him. But I wasn't expecting it to happen, so I didn't pull out the phone or nothing. But I wish I would have recorded that joint even after it was over. My young boy was coming up to me. He like, yo, why you didn't record that? And I'm like, you know what? You damn right.
Right. What do you guys think about panhandling Dr. Umar?
Right, exactly. I'm glad you went there next. Umar was out here.
We're going to talk about the panhandler himself, Dr. Umar, calling himself chastising black folk.
He said, this is Umar's statement that he put out. He said, while I did not agree with Mr. Kirk's rhetoric and considered him to be an anti-black bigot, I will never rejoice at the loss of life of anyone who hasn't directly participated in the unaliving of a member of the Black African race. I am ashamed to see members of my community celebrating this situation. I will never ask you to mourn the loss of an enemy of our race, but to celebrate an unaliving is completely unacceptable. We know all too well that the greatest recipients of political assassinations in this country have been our own people. Stop laughing at the misfortunes of others and get prepared. Political assassinations have returned to the United States of America, courtesy of the deep state.
Oh Lord, not him with the deep state.
That was Umar's response, and I said this on one of my other lives or whatever. I think the only reason why Umar's putting that out there like that is to protect himself,
right?
Because Umar's bread and butter is public speaking. You know what I'm saying? And he can't really afford the security and all of that stuff. And so he see if somebody like Charlie Kirk could get touched that easily, then he probably feels vulnerable and he wants to distance himself from our strategic indifference. He wants to distance himself from that so he don't become a target himself. I think that's what that's about.
My thing is just shut up. You don't have to say that.
Exactly.
And you or you to chastise anybody because people gonna feel how they feel. Right. So you coming out saying what you saying is not gonna change how black people feel about the situation, and the black people just feel indifferent. It's not a celebration. We just don't care one way or the other for the most part.
Right. And the thing is, man, we got to look at this thing. We got to demand deeper context of the situation, not just performative empathy. That's what Umar is doing. Some performative empathy as a defense mechanism for himself. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy work. So shortly after this shooting, there was an attack basically on HBCUs. They were basically, being threatened and going under lockdown and stuff like that. So it was like, okay, so we can't blame it on y'all, but we're gonna attack y'all too.
Yeah, we all roads lead back to us regardless. We always the main target. We always front of mind. We always main targets. This shit ain't got nothing to do with us. Y'all need to worry about white on white crime.
Literally.
What y'all gonna do to fix y'all communities? What about Utah?
And as I said, this man, white, so he was born with, genetic immunity from law and also privilege. He's Republican, at least that's what's being, said. He comes from, he's Christian. He comes from the nuclear family structure, all these things. So what drove him to that? Because everything that they're telling us that we need to be better people, he was born in. So what was his problem?
Right. Right. Good question. Good question. Uh-huh. And at the same time that was happening, down there, and what is that, Maryland, at the Annapolis Naval place, was another shooting.
Let me see.
Where is it? Right here. I'm trying to share the screen.
Which one?
What's going on? I'm trying to share it with y'all.
There's something coming up.
Happening.
It's a white screen, but I don't see the video. Or if that's what you're trying to share, it's just white.
Okay. Yeah, some kind of pop up. There's some kind of pop up that's blocking it. Hold on. Let me take this off. I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on a second, y'all. And it's moving very slow too, so it could be my service over here. But yeah, I don't know why that white screen is blocking it.
Are you talking about
let me go back
Are you talking about the white dude in Richmond, South Carolina?
No, I think this was in Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. Annapolis U.S. Naval Academy on lockdown after ex-midshipman Jackson Elliott Fleming shot multiple people.
And you notice that story's been buried ever since, like, the day that it happened. We haven't heard anything that led up to his arrest, motive, who was shot, none of that.
Right. But we do know it was another white shooter.
Right.
And the thing about it is, notice how even when the Charlie Kirk situation happened, we immediately started talking about it, and everybody started talking about it being a white shooter before there was even a suspect. Mm-hmm. Right? We all knew that the shooter was white before it was even confirmed. And there wasn't even no pushback to that. Like, even white supremacists themselves know it was them. You know what I'm saying? It's like that don't even come into question. Y'all can see this now?
Yes.
Y'all can see this now?
Yeah.
Oh, this was the shooter down there at the naval base down there in Maryland. And it's just showing a lot of pop-up commercials. So let me just take it off. I just want y'all to see the face.
Who is sworn in to protect and serve, right? And he's going on and shooting with the intent to kill his comrades on American soil.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to what Torian was saying previously about people going on and trying to get other people fired and stuff like that for quote unquote celebrating. There's people that have been in the military who have been placed on leave or, are being disciplined for allegedly celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. But this guy, we ain't heard too much more after this.
And somebody got fired from MSNBC too for saying the wrong thing, right?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think he said anything wrong. What was this guy? I think we have him in the materials as well. Matthew Dowd from MSNBC. He was like one of the first ones to get canned because of his comments. And he really didn't say anything like necessarily weird. He was just talking about, his rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? And basically, you don't know.
Got the quote?
What people are thinking when you're spewing this type of rhetoric. The rhetoric. He didn't celebrate his death though at all.
Right. But you off code.
You off code.
You off code. We don't do that.
And that's one thing about white supremacists. They reward, but they also discipline their own as well.
Exactly. They don't play that. They do not play that. And so, yeah, man, the question that we got to be asking ourselves and each other is, who benefits from the narrative that's being sold to the public. You know, why is he being made into a martyr and a hero and being lionized and all these things? Who benefits from that type of narrative? And we touched on it, you know, a little bit earlier. We talked about how this kind of protects them from criticism. You know what I'm saying? It automatically makes you an outcast or a leper when you start criticizing some of the things that Charlie Kirk was out here saying and spewing. And so now that narrative becomes louder in his death. His voice becomes louder in his death than it was while he was alive. He's more effective to them now than he was while he was alive. You know what I'm saying? So he's a perfect martyr. He's a perfect tool for them. And that's why they're protecting that narrative so fiercely. You say the wrong thing, you out of here. Right. You fired immediately.
You know, but it's so crazy,
you know
because this is the very thing that they're complaining about the left doing. You know,
that's what I wanted to say when Torian was speaking earlier. How are you attacking, like, because we read that thing from the Louisiana congressman. How are you talking about deplatforming people and all of that, threatening people's free speech and all of that, but at the same time, you're trying to make Charlie Kirk a hero for free speech?
Right.
That's the whole narrative that y'all trying to push. He's a free speech
someone
hero.
killed him because they disagreed, because they didn't agree. Like, no.
And at the same time, you ready to shut down anybody, take their license away, shut their business down, and deplatform and do all of this stuff to people because you disagree with what they're saying. The hypocrisy is
loud,
ridiculous,
isn't it? It's loud and ridiculous.
The hypocrisy is ridiculous. One more time, is there anybody else that wants to chime in before we wrap up for today? I'm going to drop the link in the chat one more time, just in case anybody else wants to hop on and add their thoughts before we wrap up today's broadcast.
And before you bring someone else up, I definitely want to talk about that Richmond County in South Carolina. A black man was, going for a run, and some white dude shot at him, missed, calling him boy or whatever for no reason. He was arrested and charged with a hate crime.
All right.
That's Ish again?
Brother Ish is back. Ish? Yes, sir.
Hey, how y'all doing? Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Hey, real quick. I had to jump back in when y'all brought up that topic about censorship, because you touched on about the sector and them disciplining soldiers if they say something negative about this dude's murder, right?
Uh-huh.
Let me give a little bit of context to that, because I retired almost 6 years ago.
Uh-huh.
But I was still employed as a civilian for about 3 of those years after that. So I know the Department of Defense and their tactics fairly well, especially because of the level that I reached. So what they're talking about is any type of social media interactions that you have that they may deem negative. See, what they're doing, what's being shown to the world, and a lot of people don't know this because you may not know the inner workings of the military and the Department of Defense, is Trump is 47 is so reckless. He's showing the inner workings that should never be shown.
This is why we like him.
Exactly. That's exactly correct. That's why I ain't got no beef with him being in there, other than having the National Guard go around harassing black folks. You know what I'm saying? So what he's doing is he's showing his hand. He's showing his entire hand by doing that and saying that people are going to get in trouble. See, the other day, the Hexbeth dude, the SecDef, was at a base when this happened, when the dude got shot. And he was at a formation and asking everybody to pray. And it's been said, I can't verify this, it's been said he was looking around to see if everybody bowed their heads. Okay? So they're really big on this conformity thing. And you can't do that so much within the ranks of the military, because what's going to happen is the Uniform Code of Military Justice does not apply when you want to apply it. It's not supposed to. Here's where the problem exists, because I was listening to TBA last night, and he touched on it, and he had somebody else come on and touch on it. They can do whatever they want with the Uniform Code of Military Justice, just like they do on the outside with laws.
Right.
Because I'm white and I say so.
Exactly.
Here's what the family needs to know. Okay, how does this relate to the everyday person? Because everybody hasn't served or may not understand what I'm saying. Here's what the family needs to know about that. Pay close attention to how they're doing these things, not because you may have somebody in there, but because watch the other side. What we're seeing is two factions fighting, and we never saw this type of infighting. Meaning white folks, whether you want to call them Democrats and Republicans or whatever they is, but this is a white fight that's happening, and they
Right.
want to, all turn around and deflect towards us like the Spider-Man meme. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's happening, and if everybody can pay attention to that, then we already know what's coming up. We can see what's coming up. The play that's at hand. That has nothing to do with us. You see what I'm saying? If that make any sense?
Absolutely, it does.
Makes perfect sense.
I had to chime in on that because if a topic comes up like that, man, I could jump on that and stay on that for about an hour. But I ain't gonna hold y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Nah,
Keep
but
cooking.
wait, before you hop off, I gotta
Yeah.
get your take on the fight last night, Crawford
Oh,
Canelo.
oh, for sure, for sure. I was talking about that earlier on Facebook Live while I was driving. So I'm gonna hit a few key points that people may have missed, and I know I saw Brother Dwan B post about it. If Bud didn't win those last 2 rounds, they would have stole it from
They
him.
was gonna rob him.
He
Yes.
was he was getting it was going to get stolen. Now I had put a prediction up of 116, 112, and 115, 113, close to that because I know how they roll. And if everybody can remember, and I'm gonna get directly to the fight, when Floyd fought Canelo, they robbed him of a scorecard. I can't remember if the scorecard was a draw or they gave it to Canelo. I
I
think they
think
gave
one
it
of
to
them was a
Canelo.
draw. I think
Okay,
so.
but he beat, in my opinion, I've been boxing. I love boxing. It's my favorite sport all my life. Bud beat him. Okay, don't get me wrong. He fought him. Floyd made the fight look easy. He styled on him. Bud styled on him too, but he put more paws on him than Floyd did. Floyd
He
made it look
did.
simple. Floyd
Yeah.
pulled the Matrix out on him and
Yeah.
that type of thing. But as
Yeah.
far as the fight goes, it's one thing I learned about Terrence Crawford. I watched him for a long time, not from the beginning, but for a long time. And I was an Errol Spence fan. So I thought Errol was going to beat him. Let me tell you something. The first punch of that Errol fight, it's over. So in this
Mm-hmm.
fight last night,
The
the
authority.
second round, around the second round, when he popped him, and see when Canelo get hit real hard and he can take the punch, he freezes. It's like, God dang, that some bitch hit me with something cold. He know what's going on, and he did it like in the ninth round. If y'all watch it again,
I
yeah,
seen. Yep. Yep.
he'll do this
Yep.
type of deal right here, and he's like, God damn it, I can't beat this bastard. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that's exactly how his face looked too. He said, "This motherfucker."
Yeah,
Like you could tell he
that's
was
it.
so frustrated.
Yep,
He can't crack the code. He could not crack the
yep,
code, and he tried. He used every weapon in his arsenal, and he could not crack the code. And he took that punch, and he was like, "This motherfucker got me."
yep.
But he should have just fell out.
Yep, yep. In the second round, I don't know if y'all noticed this. First, I can't remember. Bud was tapping him up.
You sounding janky now. You probably driving through a bad area.
Yeah, I got good balls. Get better now. Hear me?
Sounding now. You sounding a little
I'll go
janky,
out
bro.
and come back in. Or I can stop right here. I got some good balls. Okay.
Yeah, try it. Yeah, try to go out and come back in. I'm gonna bring in Jesse Paris, and I'll get you back on. I'll get you back on so you can finish your thought. But we got Jesse Paris
What's up,
here.
family?
Chime in.
Yeah, what's up to y'all? B1 salute.
B1 salute.
Peace.
I want to give y'all an update on that Evergreen shit. So, as y'all know, there was a shooting the same day as Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk shooting happened about, I would say, like a half hour before he was unalived. And it was a suspected white supremacist student, 16-year-old, who decided he was going to shoot up the school that day. And they said that he was radicalized
Online.
by Reddit, Stormfront, the Daily Stormer, or 4chan, or Nick Fuentes' platform or network. So we ain't no stranger to shootings here. As y'all know, we had Columbine here 26 years ago. These Nabiscos, as Church of Black Power would say, have lost their freaking minds. They are warring with each other in the FBA. We just need to stay the heck up out of it.
Fall back.
This ain't got nothing to do with us. And as far as Charlie Kirk, may he rest in piss. That man was no good. He literally went out his way to denigrate our people every chance he got. And now that ABK has caught up with him.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. Appreciate that, good brother Jesse
Thank
Parrish.
you.
Y'all make sure y'all follow him as well.
Yes.
Make sure y'all follow this brother.
Frontline Black News. I'll drop the link in the chat before y'all close out.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
And only thing I could say, to Black people, one, stay out of it because it's not our mess, to be in, but also be on alert.
Are you frozen ish? I want to get your last words. It look like you're frozen over there.
I think he's frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen. I want to get his final thoughts before we close out. Let me give him a chance to get his phone together. Get a chance. Let me see. I can't see you. Let say something. See if we can hear you. Nah, I think he's in a bad spot. He driving, so I think he's just in a bad spot. But you had something else you want to touch on, Nicety?
Yeah. So a couple days ago or so, there was a bill that just got passed. It's called AB7. And basically, AB7 was doing everything that
Where?
here in California. So this is a part of the California reparations, bills. Then this is basically what we were basically against. So there was this AB7 which passed, and it basically gives colleges, it basically gives colleges the power to. I forgot, Lord. Y'all, I just literally have a major brain fart. But it goes everything against what CJ was saying, because basically CJ wants to do our own basically Freedman Fund. You know what I'm saying? So that we can control where the resources are coming from, who's doing the genealogy and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? To determine
So
who's
is
eligible.
So is it that they're giving the colleges the authority to choose who
they're giving the
who's going to get?
colleges the funding, the money for the genealogy, yet they don't have any genealogists or any genealogists in these colleges, nor do they even have a genealogy program. So basically it's
So if
another
they're
way to
doing,
misappropriate the money. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're doing the genealogy, that means they're going to determine who's eligible and who's
right.
not.
Right. And then you have y'all Uncle Mammy Yvette taking full credit of it.
I was going to ask you about
Yes,
that.
she's celebrating Isaac Bryan. He was one of the persons who during the when they went to the floor, to try to vote on that bill
The legislative
last year.
session last
Right.
year.
She's over here clapping and celebrating him like, yeah, we did it. ADOS did it, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, they got that one through, but we are still advocating, CJ is still advocating for a veto of AB 537, because we're still not, we want that bill to be vetoed, because it defeats the purpose. We want to control who does our genealogy, and we want to know where the money is actually going. And there's no time frame or time limit on how long this will be funded through these colleges and stuff like that. So it's just another way to misappropriate funds, but also give us the illusion that they're really trying to do something about reparations. So I wanted to bring that up.
Right. Yep. Good update. Good update right there. And I don't think our brother Ish was able to get his phone back together. But he dropped some good game though. He dropped some good game while he was up here. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about Strappy. I seen her trying to take credit for something out there with the reparations thing out there. And I was like, I was like, wasn't C-Jack on the front line? Because she was like, yeah, boots on the ground, ADOs, da-da-da. I'm like, wasn't C-Jack
Well,
out
you know,
there
CJ,
putting in a lot of work?
he used to be a part of the ADL tribe, but group and stuff like that. But they left because one of the infighting, two, it wasn't making sense. You're aligning with yourself with the very people who's really fighting against what we really trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So, and
Mm-hmm.
then her trying to control, everything in the wrong way and really not getting anywhere. So instead of her, working with people that really want to see reparations be a thing, what she's done is aligned herself with the Democratic Party and,
Mm-hmm.
and the California Legislative Caucus, who shit on us last year, August 31st, 2024. And
Right.
celebrating, by the way.
Never
Never
forget.
forget.
Never forget. And by the way, Great Black Shark wasn't able to chime in, but y'all make sure that y'all subscribe to that brother's channel. We got Great Black Shark in the chat. Real good brother right there. Real good content. Y'all definitely want to make sure that y'all subscribe to his channel if y'all not already subscribed over there. Great Black Shark is in the building. Drop your link in the chat, good brother. So people who are not already subscribed can go ahead and get over there on your channel and subscribe to your channel. But shout out to everybody that chimed in today. Good conversation, real good conversation. Appreciate y'all. Everybody, super chatted and everything like that. And again, another reminder about the membership, the channel membership. It's just $3 to become a channel member. You get exclusive access to certain content, and you get early access to content before we put it out for public viewing and all of that as well. So just $3, you become a member of the channel here. So definitely want to go ahead and do that. Grab you a channel membership so you can get that exclusive access. And I also want to remind y'all that we do have our children's books.
Shoot.
7, The Super Hey Rule, Volume 1, 2, and 3, plus the activity book, all available on Amazon. And you see the books right there. I'm going to go ahead and play the ad one more again. Did y'all peep the ad in the beginning of the show? I'm going to play the ad for our children's book series. Y'all make sure y'all go to Amazon and go get that. And you will see the QR code on your screen. When the ad is playing, you can scan the QR code, and that'll bring you right to where you need to go to purchase the book. And y'all see the Illmatic book as well too, the parenting guide from the womb to Illmatic. That's available on Amazon as well. Y'all go get all 5 of those joints.
Hi, I'm 7, and I'm the Super Harry. That means I ask big questions, I make big moves, and I come from something powerful. In this series, I broke through change, embraced my culture, and unlocked the gifts that my ancestors gave me. These books are for kids like me, kids with heart, with pride, and with big dreams. Come join the journey. Collect all 4 7 the Super Hey Roo books and unlock your power. Available on Amazon and Kindle now. Order your copy today.
There it is.
Yes, indeed. Y'all go ahead and get y'all books,
Where's
man.
my nephew, by the way?
He probably on that tablet.
Usually he pops in.
He only get to play his tablet on the weekend, so he be locked in.
All the way in.
He ain't trying to miss a beat. Monday through Friday, that thing on lockdown. But yeah, I think that's it.
I
think that does it for today's episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. Appreciate everybody chiming in with us as always. We'll be back next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. In the meantime, y'all look for the commentary that we drop for the exclusively for the members throughout the week. Y'all stay tuned for that. And again, go ahead and grab you a membership, man. We're building that membership up. So always remember, fam, we are not the master teachers. We are only the master students and signal boosters for the voices